So this is what I wanted to kind of talk about tonight. The district, as far as when I got here, I want to make it very plain to people who usually come to the council member for help as far as with monies, different discretionary monies. There is no discretionary money that is basically left for us to work with. The amount that we have that we are going to be using are going to be used for small changes within the Ellicott district, so I can contact you through either web or through phone, and that costs money. Right now, I'm paying out of my pocket for almost every expense in our office because there is no money for me to pay for it. So I'm okay with that. We got to do what we got to do, but I want to be able to contact the district folks like in an emergency. If we've got something going on, concerned citizens should be able to be notified right away. For instance, if in your area there are break-ins, I want you to know like right away, not know it once you've seen it on the TV, those type of things. So the small amount, the sliver amount that we have, we're going to use so that we can contact the concerned citizens of Ellicott. So at this point, discretionary money is not there. However, there is what we call a very small micro grant project. And basically, I committed when I ran that I would give away every dime of the money I'm receiving from Ellicott. I got my first check the other day, and I'm giving that away. And I'm giving away the next check and the next check to groups within Ellicott for micro grants, $100, $200. So it might not seem like a lot to some folk, but it's a lot when you're talking about flowers or those things that your block club, but it must be an organized, recognized group within Ellicott, and we also have those applications. Now understand, you don't make $1 million in City Hall, but until I have literally, physically walked every street of Ellicott, we're going to give that money away. Now, obviously, I thought I was starting today, and the temperature did not allow me to start today without probably ending up in the hospital after walking. So it's going to take me a while, obviously, to walk this district that goes all the way over from Tops Niagara, all the way over basically to Tops on Jefferson. And so that's a huge district to walk, but I'm committed to walk it. And then you will, again, be able to get on the website, see the streets that I've walked and the comments we've made, because I think it's very difficult to lead a district that you really haven't seen every street, every house, and it's going to be difficult to see the physical street to know where those repairs are made, but we're also looking at what council staff already has on record about your complaints. So that's where we're starting at. So if your block club or, as I said, your group has a project, put in for that money, please. Get it out of my hand as quickly as possible so that we can start doing that, and you'll be able to, and again, we'll give you the information on the website. But this is a district, obviously, that is huge, but is hugely diverse. You know, we've got two sides of Main Street. We've got some of the best houses in the city and some of the most struggling neighborhoods. One of the things I'm working very hard on is to make sure, and I know I got a lot of West Side folks here, that builders don't come in the West Side that destroy the fabric, especially of the neighborhoods. And I've been to the community meetings before I got elected. I know what you've said, I've heard it, and that's probably why you haven't had a whole lot more community meetings about certain builders, because they were not complying to what you said you wanted in the neighborhood, and I'm going to listen to you. But then we have some of the struggling neighborhoods. We've got a problem at Town Gardens that I am not letting go. It is horrible. The owners there live in New York. They have one person here who manages the place. They don't listen to the residents. If you go through Town Gardens right now, and the neighborhoods of Town Gardens, they have been neglected for too long. The eaves are falling in. Crime is out of control. The store across the street constantly has loiterers outside. And so we are really honing in. Oddly enough, the lawyer for Town Gardens called me a couple weeks, but he called me from my pastor hat for me to help the owners of Town Gardens to basically get through the system of City Hall because they've got some huge problems. And I told him, you probably never want to call me again because I'm coming after your client with everything in me. And part of what we're trying to set up with these committees is that it's not just Darius, but understand what affects Town Gardens is eventually going to affect the neighborhood around it. So it is about us as an Ellicott really having almost laser vision on certain things. So that every neighbor says, you know what, if Town Gardens is bad and this is going to be our focus, we're all going to write an editorial piece, we're all going to come to press conferences, we're all going to march with Town Gardens, because these folks make $600 and something per apartment from HUD. And I don't understand how they pass HUD, how they get away with it, and so we have to pay a lot of attention to Town Gardens and other neighborhoods. The resolutions right away, and someone from the Buffalo News said, I can see you're not going to be a shrinking violet. My first week we were writing resolutions. One is about auto pay. Folks, I don't know about you, right now I pay everything online. Everything except City Hall bills. You can pay them online, but you can't set them up so they're automatically taken out. And my little brain is only this big. I can't remember all these bills that come at me with rental house and all that. So we put forward to have auto pay, and staff is thrilled about it. They say they have the technology. It'll be coming to the floor tomorrow in the council meeting. They said we got the technology. It's just about connecting people to it. The other thing, we talked about open government. And I just couldn't believe in 2010, you still have to wait for a week, and we have great people on staff who make that happen, but you got to wait for a week or a couple of days to see what happened. So by that time, after we've already got out of session, you're getting the interpretation often the same day from news outlets who can only show you snippets. Well, guess what? In a little while, and the gentleman to see is making all this happen is here. In a little while, you'll be able to click on your computer or your smartphone and see live the Common Council meetings. And that way you see what we're doing right away. And I think that that's so important. The state of New York, when Governor Spencer, the former governor, was in, he made sure that all of the meetings had to be live. And so we're working on that. That's about to happen. We got complete buy-in. And then finally, the security resolution. Right now in City Hall, if you come in City Hall, there is no security in the middle or when you come to council meetings, and in a time when we know that things are changing. I'm okay, and I say this and I mean this with everything in me. I ran for this office. I felt called to this office. I'm okay with someone coming after me. What I'm not okay with is that those who are visitors, because what just happened, it didn't just hurt the person who was elected, but it was the people around her. And I know there's been a lot of attention on her. I'm a little disappointed in that because there were other people who actually died, who you never ever hear about. And there were people who were just as injured, who you never hear about. So my concern is not about myself, believe me, I'm fine. It is really about the workers in City Hall and the people who visit City Hall, because let's be honest, folks, we're in a different time now. And people are not just, stopping by, knocking on the door. And we even had somebody who came through our offices, very upset about a situation, and not even with me, but he was just opening doors and walked right in our office. And so we're looking at asking City Hall to assess the security and the protocols of City Hall. And we've gotten buy-in now from Ralph Hernandez from the Board of Education, who called me today, from the comptroller in City Hall. And the mayor says he'll wait and see where it goes, but we believe that regardless, that people want to feel secure in City Hall. So that's kind of the state of what I'm working on. These meetings will be held every single month in a different location, so that we're able to see different sides of town. One of the centers we're going to go to is the Bell Center. Of course, we're going to come back to JFK, but next month we're going to be at the Refuge Temple, so that all of us get to see the different things that are going on in the Ellicott District.